Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at another cool piece of technology that I use with my servers and backing up my data. This is the Noonsoft Terra F422 Medium Business Diskette NAS server here. This server has an Intel processor inside. This is kind of what it looks like here, and this is the actual box that it came in. Fairly big box. It has your controls on it. It has a network connection, so this does connect over the network, thus the word NAS, network attached storage. So this is pretty. The box is pretty plain. It's already been out, and what I usually do, I don't do unboxings, but I do what the system actually does when it's in use. So this is the system here. It's pretty straightforward. It looks just like the box. It has an Intel processor inside, so it has its own internal memory as well. It's not that much, but it has some, and good enough. On the back, you actually have a USB 3.0 port, you have a regular USB port, you have your network port, and of course your power. These are the two fans. I've seen people where they've actually detached these fans because they said, oh, they're not really needed. I left them there. They're really quiet when you cut this guy on. So I wouldn't really pay it much mind. I would leave them on, and if it gets sort of really loud, then you could probably take them off. This thing does not heat up at all. It is a metal chassis, it's not plastic. The front's plastic, the back's plastic, but this top is actually physically metal. So each one of the bays, you just pull it open, you pull it out. I actually have some Western Digital 1 terabyte Red Edition, known for going into NAS systems for kind of high availability and less fault tolerance, or I guess more fault tolerance, so you won't be, losing data or having drive read issues. Not really a trick to get these guys back in here. It's kind of difficult at times. When you look at it at a certain angle, it's kind of hard to put in there. So let's power this buddy on. Like I said, it's really straightforward to hook up. The RJ45 connector. So as soon as you power this guy on, it starts to go through similar of what a computer goes through. You can hear them boot up. And here, all these lights are actually red, but it checks each drive to make sure that each drive is good and there's no faults in the drive. And all these will actually turn green once this thing is back up. So let's take a look at this web interface. This thing actually runs its own mini web server. So you'll actually have the ability to go in and download applications, load things up, create shared drives on your network. So it lets you do an array of things. Hey guys, this is the portion of the web interface for the TerraMaster NAS server. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here with elevated privileges so you can actually see. So as you see, whenever you log into here, you get some system information about the RAID setup, the amount of memory that you're using, really good information here. Plus you have some really cool stuff here. So you have applications where you can install applications designed by this company to use, and it actually uses this system as it was an actual computer, kind of saving stuff on it. There's a cool stuff on here. There's clam antivirus, so if you want to scan things when they go into your NAS, you can scan stuff, and all you have to do is actually click install, and it'll show up on kind of the makeshift desktop that was created by this tool. It's a really cool in-depth tool. I'm using this for server backups. I'm moving more off of the, Dropbox, which I don't really use Dropbox, but in education they use Dropbox. Moving off of OneDrive, moving off, the Amazon storage, iCloud, anything you can think of, and move it to my own place where I can manage it and secure it the best way I can. Of course, those places, they have experts, but sometimes the experts aren't always the best at what they do, because there's just so much that can go wrong. You also have an option to install MySQL. There's like a download center, so you can turn this into sort of not really a torrent system, but kind of like an internal system, so you can actually download things. There's like a Java virtual machine, so you can actually create virtual Java applets, SVN to save your code. So there's a ton of stuff on here. Very, very vast. There's remote login, which I usually disable because I don't want to really deal with that. So our CLAM antivirus is actually started. So all I have to do was install that thing. Right now it's checking this like this is an operating system, which is really cool. But you can do a full scan, and what this does, it scans the system like this is a computer, because it is a computer. It's using some of the hard drive space to install this TerraMaster operating system onto this light version of Linux. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Linux, but when you log into this thing, it's very similar to this Linux environment. Here you have an option to when you want to scan this thing. So if you are using this for your cloud storage, you're able to scan stuff, and if you want other people to upload things, you're able to scan that as well. You have a file manager similar to Windows, where you have admin, which I'm the user that I just logged in. You usually don't want to put things in admin unless you're going to install stuff. Public is where you want to give people public access to this. This isn't too safe either, so I actually disabled this because I don't want anybody publicly putting things on my storage. Even though you can lock this down, that's not really the best to do that in. So this is kind of this software in a nutshell. Of course, you have a recycle bin. You can get things out that you deleted. So this thing is kind of the bee's knees if you're gonna worry about where you save your information at. It has a really cool background. Like I said, it feels like a desktop. It's really smooth. There's not any lag in it. It's a full screen mode, so this can be up on one of your systems that you have in your house, and you always have access to your storage. So there's just a vast amount. You can actually change the themes. So right now I have simple, but we could change to Metro, and just see how quick that actually took. It was a really quick change. You could go and change your wallpaper. They have really nice wallpaper. I'm not sure where they get their wallpaper at, but it's really nice wallpaper. Of course, you can add users here, themes, music players. So you have a video player and you have a music player built into this thing, so you can play things that are saved into here. So yeah, this thing is it's really cool. So if you're looking for a NAS system that connects to your network, that's not too heavy in traffic, that has a lot of security built into it already, the TerraMaster may be the way to go. And if there's no other questions, I will talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll comment back. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video.